Hello everyone, and welcome to a special edition of Talk Nerdy to Me. Tonight we are live, raw, and uncut.
Well, not entirely live. Tonight we are taking parts from our live night episode and combining it with our regular pre-recorded show.
So please forgive us for any mistakes that you may notice throughout the show. Because if you've ever worked in live television, you know there's going to be a mistake or two.
So make sure you sit back, relax, and get ready to talk nerdy to me.
Welcome, nerds. We are your hosts for the evening.
That's right. I'm Tessa Hickey.
And I'm Dan Walker.
We are so excited to be here hosting Talk Nerdy's half live night episode.
Let's get ready for our first Nerd Flash update of the night. The release date for the conclusion to the modern Star Wars trilogy has been set. Star Wars Episode 9 is set to be released on May 24th, 2019. An odd date for a Star Wars film. The previous films have all been released in December, right before the end of the year. Star Wars Episode 9 will be directed by Colin Trevorrow, who has also directed Jurassic World. The Last Jedi will be released later this year in December, and we will be seeing Han Solo's origin film released just 6 months after, starring Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo and Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian. Disney also announced that Frozen 2 and The Lion King live-action remake will also be released in 2019, and Indiana Jones 5 has been pushed back to 2020. Regarding the last Star Wars story of this era, there is still no say as to what the subject will be, but speculations have been ranging from a Boba Fett movie to an Obi-Wan Kenobi film bringing back Ewan McGregor.
To talk more about the latest in movies, here's Sick Flicks.
Take it away, Bailey.
Welcome, TV and movie lovers, to this special live edition of Sick Flicks. This week, we are going to be talking about what Marvel has planned for their future of their movie universe. More specifically, we're going to be talking about the upcoming release of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Joining me today to talk about the next Marvel release is our host, Dan Walker. Dan, thanks for coming.
Thank you, as usual. Excuse me, Bailey.
So, Dan, are you excited about Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
I'm very excited about Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I really love Groot and Rocket. They are probably my two favorite characters, but I'm also looking to see what this story has in mind for us as fans.
Same. I'm also very excited for this movie. I remember when the first one was just coming out and people were super excited about it. I, for one, wasn't. But then I had a friend who actually dragged me to the theater to see it, and I became obsessed. I loved the soundtrack, and I loved all the characters.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
My first roommate in college, he actually made me watch it every night before we went to sleep for the first 10 days. So it was great.
So what are you hoping to see in this new movie?
I'm hoping to see a more... I don't want to see the same movie, basically. I want to see them expand on the characters we love from the movie, and I also want to see them add the new characters that they want, like Ego and maybe add on to Nebula.
So you don't... I heard there's a lot of talk about them drawing upon plots from, the first movie. So you don't want to see more of that, or...?
I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea to bring Thanos in, because since Infinity War is coming out next year, they could easily play in with the 5 bonus scenes they have at the end of the credits.
Yeah.
That's going to be insane.
So what are your thoughts on Baby Groot? I know everybody loves that character.
I like him. I just don't want them to overuse him, because I've been seeing some reviews online that they kind of try and use him a little too much. They're using him as a branding item for toys and all that.
Yeah, it gets a little bit hard after a while. I know Marvel does have a tendency to overuse some characters once they realize that those certain characters become really popular with certain areas of the fan base. And so they tend to try to play more into that and try to appease more of the audience, but sometimes they end up overusing the characters, which is a problem for me, and sometimes I can't stand it. So now, how about the new Spider-Man Homecoming movie? How do you feel about that?
I hope... Okay, so Tobey Maguire, he was my Spider-Man growing up. I wasn't a big fan of Andrew Garfield, but I like Tom Holland. I feel like it's a good mix of both of them. I feel like they can expand on a few storylines, and I really hope the contrast with Tony Stark is as funny as they said that it is.
So that being said, how big of a role do you think Tony Stark is going to have in the new Spider-Man movie?
I don't think they want to overuse him. I think they may want to use him maybe 4 or 5 scenes, because we've seen a few in the trailer where he takes Peter's suit away from him, and we also see him in a limo with him.
Well, that's all the time we have today for Sick Flicks. Dan, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Bailey.
And now I'm going to hand it over to Cece and a special guest in this week's Anime Today.
I'm your host, Cece Caputo. Joining me today is quite literally the biggest weeaboo I know. Please welcome Derek Ebersol.
Glad to be here.
So Derek, you're no stranger to shonen anime.
Nope, I'm not.
Some would say you even have the complex of a shonen protag.
Who said that? It's just my dream to be the strongest there is. Whoop, late for anime school again. Not so sugoi, my dude.
Point taken. So since you watch a lot of anime, what's one of your least favorite things?
As much as I love it, anime in general has a lot of lazy tropes, and one of the worst is the tournament arc.
For those of you unfamiliar, a tournament arc in anime usually consists of a main character fighting against either each other or in teams, in a series of structured competitions with the stakes virtually removed from the equation.
Or so you think, since every single tournament arc throws in the stakes right at the end for the main protagonist to deal with. You see, tournament arcs are inherently lazy. Pitting the main character against each other is just fan service, and fan service drawn out over 20 episodes is what writers do when they've run out of interesting ideas.
Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Super.
2 in Dragon Ball Super, and it's not done yet.
Even the Grand Magic Games and Fairy Tail, which also suffers from DBZ syndrome.
Even the newest season of My Hero Academia is in the middle of a tournament arc, where the main cast has to compete against each other to hold their class placements. It's good so far.
Flash summary of My Hero Academia: like America's X-Men, humans born with extraordinary powers become commonplace. Izuku Midoriya, one of the few born without a quirk, dreams of being the greatest hero. Not really a spoiler, because it happens in the first episode, but he does get a quirk. The problem is, he has no idea how to use it. The show follows him and his classmates through a prestigious superhero high school. Season 2 is currently airing, and it's lit so far.
Thanks to you, I managed to catch up on Season 2. When you told me it was a tournament arc, I cringed a little inside, but My Hero has a way of taking jabs at shonen tropes while also shamelessly reveling in them.
So far, the tournament arc fits really well within the story. They're not so much fighting for a title as they are fighting for attention. Heroes from all over the world are attending these Olympic-style games to watch the students scout them for future employment.
The characters aren't fighting each other either. Instead, they're being put through a gauntlet of trials to give them chances to impress the world. Since this fits the narrative really well and a good range of characters are given the spotlight besides just the main character, My Hero Academia is poised to be one of the first ever tournament arcs that doesn't serve to just waste my time.
We both highly recommend you check it out. My Hero Academia also has a great English dubcast. That's our time. Dan and Tessa, back to you.
Thanks for that, Cece.
Coming up after the break, we have a producer showdown between 2 PSTV producers.
Make sure you keep watching Talk Nerdy to Me right here on PSTV.
Welcome back, you lovely nerds.
So our producer James Andre decided to battle card sports producer Jordyn Whitman in a trivia contest.
Hopefully you saw the first half on Cardinal Sports during Live Night, where James scored 6 points.
Let's see how Jordyn does in this special producer showdown.
All right, so welcome back. This is Talk Nerdy to Me. Hopefully earlier you saw the producer showdown between Jordyn and I in Card Sports. We have the second half of it here for you, where I'm going to quiz Jordyn on nerdy trivia. I got 6 points earlier. Let's see if she can beat that. What's the name of the city that Batman's from?
Gotham.
Oh, I'm going to lose.
Yes! I'm proud of myself.
What planet does the Death Star destroy in Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope?
Give me a hint. I gave you
It's
hints.
Leia's home planet.
Buns Bonsai?
Not even close. It's called Alderaan.
She's got those cute little buns. I don't know.
That has nothing to do with the planet she's from.
Okay.
All right, this one you should be able to get.
All right.
What kind of animal is Sonic?
A hedgehog.
Yeah. What are Mario and Luigi's profession?
Are they plumbers?
Yeah, they are. It's a convention.
Nope.
I'll say this.
All right.
It means E3 as in there's 3 E's.
Electronic? Electricity?
No.
I don't know.
Electronic Entertainment Expo. Although you got the first one, I'll give you a half point
Half
for
point.
that one.
How many have I gotten? 3?
You've gotten like 2.5. Name the real name of any of the Robins.
John Smith.
No.
I feel like that was a good guess.
There's Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, Jason Todd, and Stephanie Brown.
There's a female.
There is,
I
yeah.
like that. Cool.
What's Superman's dog's name?
Crypto.
Yes it is. Or more simply, Superdog.
Okay, I got Crypto. We're gonna go with crypto.
What planet is Superman from?
Krypton?
Yeah.
You shouldn't have put them back to back.
This.
How many have I gotten?
You've gotten like 1, 2, 3 and a half. 4, 5.
Five and a half?
She's half a point away from beating me.
All right, let's go.
Oh, this next question's easy.
Come on.
Name any Marvel villain.
Poison Ivy?
Nope, that's DC.
Oh.
Not Marvel.
All right. But is she a villain?
Yes, she is.
I don't get half a point.
That's a DC villain.
Fine.
If anything, you'd get negative
all
points
right,
for
all
naming.
right, all right.
Yeah. All right. Who is Zelda?
Is she a princess?
Yes. Yes, she is.
6.5. I think I just took this game.
Name any character that Stan Lee helped create.
Any character that Stanley helped create. I'm gonna go with my favorite, Harley Quinn.
No, he's a Marvel person.
Okay. All right. I still think I won.
You did, but let's just say who he helped create real
All
quick.
right. All right.
Yeah, I would have accepted Spider-Man, Hulk, Thor, Iron Man, any of the X-Men, Daredevil, or Doctor Strange.
Okay. I don't know many of those, but
You know
I
Spider-Man.
still think I won. I still think I won by half a point. And honestly,
Oh.
what is this? Honestly, I was expecting him to win.
I was expecting me to win. Most people were expecting me to win.
Most people were
This is-
expecting, you know what?
This is
I'm very proud of myself.
quite a tournament. I think I made them too easy.
I asked you how many players play on a hockey team, but
And I got that
it's
one.
okay. It's okay. Most of mine were guesses, so educated guesses. That's what college does for you kids.
Well, anyway, we hope you liked this special producer showdown for Live Night for both Cardinal Sports and Talk Nerdy to Me. I'm James Andre.
I'm Jordyn Whitman.
Keep watching Live Night here on PSTV.
Oh, that's disappointing, James. Better luck next time.
Anyway, coming up after the break, we have an exclusive look at the behind the scenes of Talk Nerdy to Me from this season.
You won't want to miss it, so keep watching Talk Nerdy right here on PSTV. Welcome back to Talk Nerdy's partially live special.
Let's jump into our second Nerd Flash update of the evening. The next Call of Duty title has been released. Call of Duty World War II is going back to the era that made Call of Duty great. The game will be released on November 3rd of this year. Details on the campaign have also been released, confirming that both D-Day and the Battle of the Bulge will be a part of the campaign. Activision has also stated that there will be a co-op campaign story which will feature Nazi zombies. This is the first time that Call of Duty will go back to World War II since the 2008 release of Call of Duty World at War. To talk more about Call of Duty, we have Spencer in this week's Critical Miss.
Take it away.
Hey folks, welcome back to another segment of Critical Miss. I'm your host, Spencer Van, and today we'll be taking a look at the recently announced Call of Duty World War II. As many gamers may know, the Call of Duty series has broken away from modern-day warfare to full-on science fiction. However, reports have stated that COD's developer, Sledgehammer Games, have returned to its roots with the newest installment of the series being set in World War II. This is a drastic change for the game series since COD hasn't been set in a historical time period since Call of Duty World at War back in 2008. Many fans are happy in this transition from the constant science fiction narrative and gameplay seen in the recent games of the franchise. Besides the return to an old setting, the game is announced to have multiple online game modes, including the return of Nazi zombies. Unlike past installments, however, this mode of Nazi zombies will have its own original storyline set nearing the end of World War II. Apart from that, new features in the combat will be introduced in the gameplay. These include being able to double jump and wall run, both of which have been seen in recent COD games. However, while all of this sounds great, there are always questions that should be asked. For instance, will the game be an interesting and challenging installment of the series, or will it just be another repetitive shooter? In the end, it is just switching from one genre of war to another, as the Battlefield series has done with World War I. Another factor that the game may receive negative feedback for is its accounts of racism that have been reported in the game's campaign. Developers of the game said that the reasoning for this is to convey a historically accurate view of the world during that time period. Details of to what and how this subject will be shown in the game have yet to be explained, making it a questionable game to play. This is particularly concerning for some, as COD games in the past have had ethical issues, most notably the instance being Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, where players shoot down innocent civilians in an airport in order to progress to the next mission. That in mind, the thought of how racism will be portrayed in World War II is a disturbing thought. In the end, however, we leave it to you to decide whether this game will be a critical hit or a critical miss. As always, I'm Spencer Van, and you've just watched Critical Miss.
So Dan, Talk Dirty has been a lot of fun this season, but have you ever wondered what goes on behind the scenes?
Totally, but we sort of already know what goes on behind the scenes. But for you who don't know, here's a look behind the scenes at the production of Talk Nerdy to Me.
Take a look.
Welcome back, folks.
So we are bringing back an old segment for one episode only.
We are bringing back fan favorite That's Debatable, which will be moderated by former host of Talk Nerdy to Me, Bianca Borge.
Take it away, Bianca.
Welcome to That's Debatable. I'm your moderator for the evening, and joining me are self-proclaimed mega nerds Cece Caputo and Derek Ebersol, who you saw earlier on Anime Today. Cece, Derek, thanks for joining us.
No problem.
Of course.
Okay, so tonight we are going to be debating the third annual Superhero Madness bracket that's been created by producer James Andre, our AP Michael Gitlin, and former producer Salim Hamid. We are only going to be debating those that made it to the final four of the bracket and how they would win in a fight. Firstly, Marvel versus DC. 2 was Batman versus Phoenix. Cece, thoughts on this matchup?
Well, I mean, it's pretty easy. Like, you can call Batman what he is, where he basically destroyed the whole DC bracket. Like, that was pretty obvious, but Batman's biggest power, I guess, would be in his preparation. Kind of ironic, because he's the only one without power. But the reason he, like, trumped through DC is because he knew every single one of their weaknesses. But when he's up against an opponent he doesn't know the weakness of, or it's Phoenix, so virtually what are her weaknesses?
True. Very true. Okay. Derek, do you want to say anything?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of agree that Phoenix would win. I think anytime you're matching Batman up against someone always pulls out the, well, does he have prep time? And I guess maybe, but I mean, Phoenix is like deity level. I mean, like the Phoenix Force is like a cosmic force that kind of like goes around to people, and whoever has it ends up being the strongest person, like capable of beating like Apocalypse and other like high level mutants. So I don't know. I can't see him winning.
Okay. So now moving on to Star Wars versus Miscellaneous, we have Goku versus Luke Skywalker. This time, we'll start with Derek.
I don't know what you want me to say. I mean, you've got someone who, as a child, is like stronger than any character in any media, and now he's at the point where he's again at deity status with blue hair. I just don't see it. I mean,
It's
maybe.
Rose now.
What?
It's Rose again now.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm behind.
Super Saiyan Rose is...
No, I mean, maybe Luke's lightsaber could cut him. I doubt that would really work, or maybe the Force could affect him. But like, the dude is still faster than light, many times over. It's like there's no way. There's no way. No, it's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen, guys.
Okay, and what about you?
I agree with Derek. Like, I don't know. James, Salim, Michael. Like, what were you thinking when you made this? You put
Very
Goku
true.
in a bracket against, let me see, Link, Solid Snake. Who else? Doctor Who and Sherlock against Goku? Really?
I do like that matchup, though. I like Link versus Solid Snake because you've got a guy who only communicates through grunts and then another guy who only communicates through grunts.
Okay. Okay, so we hear from your sides now. So now we will reveal our winner for the evening. Here it is, everyone. Okay. Actually, let's keep going. Who would you think? So you guys are pretty much saying Goku versus Phoenix.
We're pretty much saying Goku broke the bracket.
Yeah.
But
So
then-
you're saying Goku will win the whole entire.
Well,
That's different because Goku's strength is mostly physical based, but Phoenix has a lot of telepathic type power. So I think she would be able to take over his mind in a way. And I don't know. I think I'm going to give it to Phoenix, but that's just because I don't want to be bored.
Okay, guys. So one person says Phoenix, and the other one says Goku.
oh no, I said Goku broke this bracket.
But
But
you
Goku
think?
versus Phoenix, it's going to be Phoenix.
Oh, okay. So they both say Phoenix. I think it's Phoenix too. But let's see. The winner is Phoenix. Okay, and the winner was from Jalen Martin. Yes, I'm so happy. Here we go.
On the Talk Nerdy cast.
Yes, here you coming, but well, that's all the time we have for this special edition of That's Debatable. Thank you to Cece and Derek for joining us. Let's send it back to Tessa and Dan, and there you go, Jalen. What up?
Thanks, guys.
Now, we have a special look back at all 4 seasons of Talk Nerdy to Me.
Take it away.
Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Talk Nerdy to Me. I'm your host this week, Cece Caputo. We're just getting started, but we already got a lot to talk about.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Season 2 of PSTV's one-of-a-kind nerd culture experience, Talk Nerdy to Me. I'm your host, James Andre.
Hello, welcome to the 3rd season of Talk Nerdy. I'm Sky Flores.
And I'm Bianca Ford.
Hello, nerds, and welcome back to the premiere of Season 4 of Talk Nerdy to Me.
We have an amazing episode ready for you.
I'm Brandon Menard. Let's kick things off tonight with Nerd Flash.
With nerdy news from around the world, let's jump right into Nerd Flash.
But first, it's time to get you what's caught up in what's trending in nerd culture in this week's Nerd Flash.
And to kick things off, we bring you our very first Nerd Flash update of the year.
Welcome back to Talk Nerdy to Me. Let's get on to our newest segment, Sick Flicks.
Let's see what Drew has to say about that in Sick Flicks.
Welcome back to Talk Nerdy to Me. I'm your TV and movie guru, Bailey McGregor, and this is Sick Flicks. Welcome movie and TV lovers to this week's edition of Sick Flicks. I'm your host, Bailey McGregor.
Welcome back to Talk Nerdy to Me. If my calculations are correct, you're going to see some serious gaming in our next segment, Game On.
Hey, today on Game On, we're going to be playing yet another video game. It's called Gang Beasts.
Hello, ladies and gents. This is Jabari Walker, and I will be commentating Game On show for you tonight.
Welcome to Game On. This segment, we're gonna play Gang Beasts.
A special thanks to our producer, James Andre, for that special look at the history of this amazing show.
You're pretty awesome, James. We have been so honored to be your host for this season.
The fate of this show in PSTV is currently unknown, so this may be Talk Nerdy's final show.
However, we hope that this show can continue to thrive.
But that's for another time.
Right after this, there will be an exclusive interview with our producer, James Andre.
You won't want to miss it, so keep watching.
For one final time, I'm Tessa Hickey.
And I'm Dan Walker. Have a good night, everyone.
I'm here to, I guess it's tonight now. Wow. Time moves fast when you're having fun with the always lovely James Andre, producer of Talk Nerdy. So, James, what went into this live production, whereas you're usually a to-tape show?
Well, a lot of pre-produced stuff went into this show, definitely. We had a lot of packages. We got a little emotional this episode, so yeah, I was tearing up a little bit in the PCR, but we're good now. Yeah, like I said, a lot of pre-produced stuff, a lot of practice, stuff that we're not used to.
Wow. Well, it sounds like you came prepared, my friend. Now, obviously, everything can't go exactly to plan. Was there anything that happened that, kind of just slipped under the radar, came up during the actual production?
Yeah, we didn't have a green screen ready. We had, the stuff there, but we had chroma key issues where we would cut to the camera and there was still the green background, or there was little issues with that. But other than that, just a few minor hiccups. We did great. Crew was amazing. I just like to give a huge shout out to all my crew, especially my AP Mike for being my support this entire time. So yeah.
Wow, great. Really it sounds like you came very prepared, honestly, throughout this whole interview. So tell me, James, one last thing. If you could give one piece of advice to the next holder of the Talk Nerdy helm, what's your little piece of advice?
My piece of advice for the next producer of Talk Nerdy is to have so much fun with it. It's such a fun show. As you know, you're the former AP of the show.
I am.
So yeah, that's my advice. Just have so much fun with it because it can be such a great experience. Don't worry about all the little things because you can figure them out. I know it because I'm pretty sure I know who the next producer is.
Wow.
But yeah.
We're talking insider information, ladies and gentlemen. And unlike Enron, we won't tell you. And now we're going to send it back to the studios.